This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
What's the TV show going to sell? Is it going to sell if it's a nice, quiet, quaint, 20-somethings being together, or wild, crazy 20-somethings doing crazy things?
The talk of the town, Siesta Key is known for having the best beach in the country and is a major tourist destination here on the Suncoast. But soon it will become the featured destination of a reality show on MTV. The show follows the lives of an elite group of college students returning home for the summer. Will it be an accurate representation of the community, and what are residents saying about it? Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohen, and welcome to ABC 7 at 7. We'll have more on the Siesta Key reality show coming up, but first, our top 7 stories at 7. And we begin tonight in Sarasota, paying tribute to our fallen soldiers on this Memorial Day, with crowds lining downtown streets for the annual Memorial Day Parade. Veterans remembering the real meaning of Memorial Day and the loved ones who gave their lives protecting the nation. Crowds were on their feet saying thank you to everyone who served.
It's not just about picnics and barbecues and pool parties and beaches. It's for the fallen ones. And don't take life for granted. Don't, because a lot of people here, families, friends, they lost someone.
A somber memorial service followed the parade. The theme Celebrate, Honor, and Remember, marking the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Midway, the battle some call the turning point of the war in the Pacific. In Venice, residents from across the Suncoast gathering in Patriots Park to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Veterans of foreign wars, Post 8118, hosting hundreds of vets and those honoring them, representatives from the American Legion, Ladies Auxiliary, and the VFW, among others, laying wreaths. There was a representation from all the branches of the military at the ceremony. Northport also holding a somber service this Memorial Day. The community gathering to honor fallen service members at Veterans Park. American Legion Post 254 hosting the annual ceremony with speakers and singers. There was also a wreath-laying ceremony in front of the memorial. In Bradenton, the American Legion riders from Kirby Stewart Post 24 are making sure no fallen veteran grave goes without a flag. Today, the group is checking every headstone at the Fogartyville Cemetery as well as an adjacent cemetery. They are putting together a database of veterans' grave sites. So far, they have determined hundreds of graves belonging to veterans that had not been previously recognized.
And we continue working with that program today. Anytime there's a new burial here at Fogartyville, they let us know immediately, and so we're able to add that name so that no veteran is ever forgotten.
The group plans to expand the program to 3 more area cemeteries, including the Manatee Burying Grounds, which go back to 1850. A Bradenton teenager is under arrest after allegedly stealing a chainsaw from a home and then returning for seconds. It happened Saturday night at a home on 30th Avenue East. Deputies say surveillance video shows the teen first coming to the home and stealing the chainsaw from the porch. Then 30 minutes later, he comes back and takes a bicycle. The suspect was identified the next day and is being charged with 2 counts of burglary. Now to Palmetto, where roads are once again open after a brush fire broke out. Fire crews say a transformer blew, sparking the fire near a neighborhood around 33rd Street had to be closed while crews fought the 4-acre fire. There were voluntary evacuations. The fire is now contained. Dry conditions played a big role.
We tried to contain it with our engines, and then we had to call in 2 additional brush trucks to secure the fire from the wind moving to the north to protect from the tree lines.
Florida remains under a wildfire state of emergency. According to the Florida Forest Service, there are 79 active wildfires still burning across the state tonight. 24 of them are bigger than 100 acres. Hurricane season starts on Thursday, and thanks to a recently signed measure, there will be a tax holiday for storm supplies. The tax-free holiday runs from June 2nd through June 4th. Exemptions are available on items like radios, first aid kits, battery packs, and portable generators. ABC7 is also helping you prepare for hurricane season. On Thursday, we'll have our hour-long Surviving a Hurricane special from 7 to 8 o'clock. Our weather team will go over evacuation routes, shelter information, what you need in your supply kit, and much more. You will also be able to call in with your storm-related questions. That's Thursday, June 1st at 7 p.m. And Steve, we are really looking forward to that show.
We've been spending a lot of time preparing for this. I think you really should tune in, coming up 7 o'clock on Thursday. Alan, everybody's saying how hot it was today. Well, it wasn't even close to breaking a record. I just think it was the sun, the bright sun without clouds to break it, and the breeze. Actual high was 89, 2 degrees warmer than normal, but the record would have been 95. Still warm over the state, but things are changing. Weather patterns changing very much in the next 2 days. I think you're going to like the result of it. Still broiling in Highlands County in the upper 90s there to the mid 80s along the coast at the Pacific, at the Gulf beaches. High pressure over Florida stretching in from the Atlantic has been our prominent weather influence for the last week. It is going to weaken in the next day or so, allowing storms to return. And already we can see signs of that happening. Those storms down around South Florida are going to be spreading north up through the state and do nothing but increase as the week goes on. Our rapid refresh model for the overnight hours shows it has a good handle on those showers. I don't think much of that is going to be reaching the ground. It's just indicating the atmosphere is moistening up and a sign of things to come. Overnight temperature is cooling off in the mid-70s, and coming up in a couple of minutes, or in a few minutes, Alan, I'll tell you in great detail why we're going to get rain and how much our chances are, how high the chances are.
No arguing, we need it.
We do.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve. And still to come, Siesta Key on MTV. The show will center around a group of college students from elite families. Find out what some people close to the project are saying about the way it represents the community. We'll have details when we return.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I believe that home is where your pet is.
And that loving an animal means never giving up on them, never letting them go.
I believe that when you spay or neuter your pets, you help decrease the number of homeless animals.
Because every dog and cat deserves a place to call home.
I believe that I found my best friend at a shelter. And you can too.
We believe that together with Best Friends Animal Society,
we can bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets.
Visit ambassadors.bestfriends.org.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
You may want your MTV, but do you want it on Siesta Key? The music video channel is filming a new reality TV show on Siesta Key. It is easy to understand why, the #1 ranked beach in the country, but as Kate Flexter tells us, some people are not too happy. Kate.
Thanks, Alan. The show isn't premiering for a few months, but already the word is spreading. Some are excited, while others worry it could misrepresent the area.
Siesta Key, known for white sand beaches, small town living, and soon an MTV reality show. It's news that has this tiny coastal village talking.
All in all, right now, the talk of the town is everybody's a little nervous.
Nervous, says Siesta Key resident and property owner Michael Holderness, because they're not really sure what the show is about. And so far, MTV is being pretty tight-lipped about it. A profile of MTV's network chief gives a hint, though, describing the show as, quote, in the vein of The Hills, about a group of kids in an elite Florida enclave who return home for the summer after spending their freshman year in college. As a local business owner, Holderness says it could offer a great chance to show off the barrier island and attract a younger demographic during the slow season. His only concern, accurately representing Siesta Key.
We're like a laid-back family community, beach community, and they just don't want to be portrayed as like a Daytona Beach, kind of party capital.
Vice President of the Siesta Key Association, Catherine Luckner, says she's gotten all types of calls since word of the series spread. Several concerned the show might fall in line with past MTV series.
They felt they were rowdy people doing things, lots of drugs, mayhem, problems, violence. Those aren't the things that we have here, and we'd like to make sure it stays the way it is.
But Luckner feels confident this show will be different.
It's not a spring break series. It is about real people doing the things that they would normally do coming home.
The crew filmed the pilot episode more than a year ago. And yet even Tom Kuvatsos, who owns the Village Cafe right in the heart of the Key, says he never saw a film crew.
Nothing at all. I'm kind of shocked if they're done or near done filming because I haven't seen or heard anything.
But he also hasn't seen or heard anything about the show's plot and says it really could go two ways.
What's the TV show going to sell? Is it going to sell if it's a nice, quiet, quaint, 20-somethings being together, or wild, crazy 20-somethings doing crazy things?
Those two options are the crux of the matter. A spring break destination or a quiet, quaint beach town. Holderness hopes it's the latter.
The spotlight's on them, so I hope they just kind of represent Siesta what they are, show the quality, the values, what this community is all about. Really kind of let us be proud of you. I mean, they have a chance here to do something really cool, and I hope they do.
The show is set to premiere on July 19th.
Kate, thank you. And coming up, a local businessman who has questions and the director of the Sarasota Film Office. In a moment, we will be taking it to the trapezoid.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112.
Welcome back. MTV's show Siesta Key will center on the lives of an elite group of college freshmen returning home for the summer. It is an unscripted reality show, so why don't we begin with a look at the reality of the average resident on the Key. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the average age of residents on Siesta is 64 years old. More than 95% of residents are white. The average home value is nearly $800,000. Siesta Key is a popular tourist destination. There are fewer than 7,000 permanent residents. So for the most part, the people you encounter on Siesta are just visiting. How MTV's show will reflect all of this? What kind of image does the community want to project? Joining us for more on the topic tonight is Jeannie Corcoran, the director of the Sarasota County Film Commission, and Mike Holderness, Jr., the CEO of Sarah Bay Real Estate. He also owns Siesta Key Beachside Villas and Beachside Management. Thank you both for joining us tonight, especially on Memorial Day.
Well, thanks for having us.
I would imagine the concern that a lot of people will just see at face value is they don't want Siesta Key reflected as kind of a Jersey Shore, because when that show went on with everything it involved, it brought a lot of negative implications to the Jersey Shore.
Well, I don't think you'll see any parallels between the economic class and the educational level and the lifestyle level of Jersey Shore versus Siesta Key. I think that the Siesta Key lifestyle and culture, these are affluent young men and women, these are good-looking, smart, attractive, dynamic young men and women, and they're home for the first time from their first year of college. I mean, I don't think that says Jersey Shore.
Have you gotten any kind of preview or first look at the episodes?
Just photographs that have come from set photographers that have been published already, and the general public has seen them too. But, you know, I'm assuming that they are what they are. They're young, attractive, dynamic, active young people with affluence and speedboats and time on their hands and money in their pockets. And it's reality television, so there are certain things to be expected. There will be laughter, there will be tears, there will be happiness, there will be unhappiness, there will be conflict, there will be joy. It's, you know, the formula of reality television.
Mike, I know you're very hopeful for this project, but as a business person with a lot of money invested on Siesta Key, what concerns, if any, do you have?
Well, they come from good families, and I think that that's my biggest concern is just show off what Siesta Key is. I mean, it's a beautiful place. I heard some of the footage is just amazing. But, you know, we have some things that protect against too much rowdiness, like our Siesta Key Overlay District and stuff like that. So one thing to kind of keep in mind is they're not adding any rooms or anything like that to Siesta, so it's not going to be built up or expanded on or in any kind of way like that. So it's what we have, and I think if they just kind of show what it is, that's my biggest concern.
I would imagine that if there might be any concern out there is that, you know, you like being popular. Popular is good for business, especially the tourism business, but too much of a good thing in any situation is not good, and you don't want Siesta Key, not now, but maybe next year, to be overrun.
Correct, but you know, some of the places, like we tend to cater to more families and couples, but we do need the spring break population, if that's what you want to call it, to support some of these other guys in the local businesses. They couldn't make it the whole year without them.
Right. And, you know, we're a community of grandparents, and our grandparents love their teenagers, and they love their 20-something-year-old grandkids. And I don't think their grandkids are going to come here to visit Grandma and Grandpa and not have a great time on the beach, but they're also not going to do anything to scandalize and mortify grandma and grandpa or mom and dad. You know, we have a multi-generation community, and the young community needs to come here. We need to start retaining some of our young talent, some of our young intellects, some of our young educated college grads. They need to see something that says, we belong here too. You know, we're part of the make up this whole community. And
that's true, but for a lot of people may hear stories about what happens on the Panhandle or the other coast and say, yeah, we love our grandkids, but we don't want the problems associated with spring break in other parts of Florida or the country to come here.
Sure, sure. Our contact with them has been they're respectful. You know, they might get a little bit out of control like we all did at that age, but all in all, they are very respectful when they come to Siesta Key. I actually see them picking up trash that's left behind by maybe the older generations.
Jeannie, how did this all come about? It's been a long process.
It has,
and how did it start, and where are we now?
Well, like so many of the projects that our film office assists, they can start 2 years in advance. We start out with projects that reach out to us, and a producer may call us and say, this is what we're looking for. We need a beautiful beach. We need beautiful sunsets. We need a dynamic community of the arts, or something along those lines. And then we try and find them locations. And the original producer we worked with on this was from Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's a fabulous place, but what he was looking for, Jacksonville didn't have. And he had relationships on the West Coast with MTV and networks, and came out, scouted, liked what he saw, liked the film-friendly attitude of Sarasota County, and shot the pilot here about a year and a half ago, and it went very, very well. They did it very professionally. They spent several $100,000 in the community, and that's direct spending into local cash registers and local hotel rooms and local rentals and local caterers and local food service and costume dry cleaners and wardrobe assistants and drivers of vans. And they spend so much money in so many ways, people don't realize what an economic driver it is.
Mike, we have less than a minute left, but what have you seen and heard from this production?
Just seen them out on the beach, filming respectfully, not getting in anyone's way or causing any scenes or anything like that. It's been very positive what I've seen.
They've been a remarkably professional production. I would say in the last 10 years that I've been the film commissioner here, they are really one of our top 5 most efficient, most professional productions. They've been here 3 months, and people didn't even know they were here until it was shown on TV in a trailer at the awards.
Right. We are just getting started with our conversation, and we'll pick it up right after we check on the weather, so stay with us.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Our discussion of MTV's Siesta Key reality show continues in a moment, but right now let's get a check on our forecast from meteorologist Steve Newman. Steve.
Alan, everybody's complaining about the heat, and it's been nice over the holiday weekend, but it'll be great to have a return of thunder showers in the afternoon, evening hours, and cooler temperatures. I think that is just about to happen. Our high today, 89, last night's low 72, not a record, and things are going to cool off very slowly, I think, the next couple of days. But today, Jacksonville has 91 degrees, Gainesville 90, Tampa 90 as well. And across our viewing area, it looks like it's 95 at Lake Placid and the 80s along the immediate coast. Now, we have a strong high pressure over us that's been in place for about a week's time. That's what has cut off the rain, cut off the sea breezes from east and west, but it's going to change in the next couple of days. We can see right now already evidence of it with some thunderstorms coming up from the south. I think that's indication that the high is weakening and getting ready to jog off to the east. And those thunderstorms have spread across Alligator Alley and in the heart of the state. But one of the more interesting developments is that we also have a sea breeze front beginning to come in from the east. And that sea breeze front could trigger some showers right across Orlando down the heart of the state. I know it's not for the Sun Coast, but it is a sign that the weather pattern is slowly changing across our area. Here's our rapid refresh forecast for the rest of tonight. That's a mouthful, hard to say. Showing scattered showers overnight and light and variable winds. I don't think any of these showers are going to have raindrops that reach the ground, but it's just an indication that our weather pattern is slowly changing. Here's our overnight temperature forecast, slowly cooling off minute by minute through the evening hours. Our overnight low about 75, 74 degrees. Alan will be back with our primetime discussion coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Jury selection is set to get underway for a man accused of murdering a 7-Eleven convenience store clerk and then setting the store on fire. That's tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
High pressure remains our dominant weather feature, bringing us another day of rain-free skies. When will those afternoon showers start again? We'll take a look at that.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are discussing the impact of MTV shooting a reality show right here on the Suncoast, simply titled Siesta Key. The show will air in July. However, some community members worry it could misrepresent the area. Our guests tonight are Jeannie Corcoran, the director of the Sarasota County Film Commission, and Mike Holderness, CEO of Sarah Bay Real Estate. He also owns Siesta Key Bayside Villas. Here are some of the things that have people concerned, and they wrote to, make comments, which the Herald Tribune has gone over, and you hear comments like, "We don't need young, rich filth in this town. Go back to music videos. That's all you're good for." And another person writes, "That's just grand. Let's glorify more." I want to say that, and draw even more ill-behaved, self-indulgent, overprivileged brats in.
Haters gonna hate.
Right, but that,
hate.
These are people in our community who are writing with the concern
I
about...
can see that concern.
Yes, I
really
can
too. One thing to keep in mind is like our guest recently, last week purchased Siesta Beach Resort, and we transformed that back to what it was in the 50s, give back those values. And our guests are not really watching MTV anyway. So hopefully maybe some people will see it today as a college student, have their families, and then come back and visit us in a few years from now. So I don't think it's going to be like a Jersey Shore. I don't think it's going to be a negative impact on our area. Well, at least we're hoping.
And if people watch reality television of all kinds, reality television has a formula. They should know what to expect. It's going to have conflict, it's going to have arguments, it's going to have love and happiness and romance, but it is the nature of reality television, and until we see it, we won't really know what it is. But this is such a gorgeous community. It's a beautiful place. It's going to look beautiful. You can't make the beauty of what we have look ugly. If people are ugly, if the behavior is ugly,
it's contagious.
But that's the nature of of show business as a whole.
I would imagine that's what people are concerned about.
Yeah.
Is that people, if the show is reflective of that, and then people, that young people watching this would say, well, you know what, I'm going to go to Sarasota and Siesta Key and have a good time like that.
Well, Siesta is getting older. The properties are getting older, and that's probably one of my biggest concerns for Siesta Key is with the rising employee costs and the rising taxes and the rising insurance. These buildings are older, and a lot of these associations that do vacation rentals don't have the money to fix them up. So we need the extra support into the community, not to build more units, but to go ahead and breathe new life back into the old ones.
And keep the community economically healthy, because it's what this television is all about. Television and film, it's an economic driver, and it drives millions of dollars into this community every single year. This one show, MTV, one show, right now we're estimating 1,600 room nights in hotel nights. That at $200 an average room night, 1,600 hotel rooms, that's $320,000 spent in the hands of our local merchants who pay to put their kids in our school, and they pay their taxes, and they buy their groceries.
And they will spend the same amount in the village.
Right.
So if they spend a couple $100s on a room night, they're going to spend a couple $100s in the village.
But do you think that what's driving some of this concern is that we are not new around here in terms of reality TV shows? They've been in the area. There were Spring Breakers.
And that was a movie.
Okay. Yes. And Breaking Amish, which, so people...
I don't think anyone liked that, but apparently their network did.
Right.
So.
Right, but so people have seen these shows out there with sometimes a negative implication, and again, they may be be just with another show, if it is popular.
It's TV.
It is television.
It's
and it's
TV.
Fictionalized reality.
Yeah.
Even when it's reality, it's fictionalized reality. It's heightened reality. It's over-the-top reality, because that's what they think is entertainment. And I spoke to a lovely gentleman on the phone the other day, a Mr. Ashby, who headed a Siesta Key owners group. And we talked at length, and I said, it may not be my cup of tea. It may not be your cup of tea. But God bless America and the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech. They are playing it completely by the book. Everything is done by the rules, permits, insurance. They are professional, they are on schedules, they report everything they're doing and everywhere they're going. And so far they have been truly one of the most professional groups we've dealt with in 10 years. So we can't discriminate against those people. We may not like the network, don't watch. I don't believe that we're going to see an onslaught of raunchy people going out of their way to come to Sarasota, Florida because they watched an MTV show. When I was with the Las Vegas office of the Nevada Film Office, we had MTV do Real World, and we had a whole season of Real World in town. It launched the Palms Hotel and Casino, launched it, created a whole dynamic for people to come. It was a crazy, wacky MTV, you know, love and romance and all the things that go with it. And it created an entire new business out of a new property that may or may not have succeeded to that extent had it not been for that exposure.
There's a huge difference between
I know, but I'm saying,
yeah.
I'm just saying that every community adapts it differently. That was an entirely different show, and everyone in it was over 25 minimum because of the environment. Here they're supposed to be in their first year of college, which could be as young as 19 or 20. We don't know yet until we see it.
Mike, let me ask you this, and you kind of raised this as an issue before, that our area is getting older, Siesta Key is getting older. So what kind of balance do business people like you have to have in terms of future growth and keeping business coming in? If you say that the homes in the area are getting older and the business owners themselves are getting older.
Yeah, and the property conditions are getting older, and that's what kind of makes me nervous for a lot of associations, because we do have a CSK overlay district. It's called SCOD, and there's height restrictions, there's building restrictions, so you can't just tear down an old building and build 20 new units. You just can't do that.
Or 50 stories.
Yeah, so the trick is to have that balance, and why Siesta Key is so special is if you breathe that new life back into those older properties, it brings back those values, you know, so you're not changing anything. It's not change.
But who do you want to market to? Do you want to market to the affluent older set, the family?
It's price driven. That's what's, it's price driven. In these older properties like Beachside Management, our company, we just took over Sea Club, and it's right in the middle of Siesta Key, and beautiful property.
In fact, we're
really
hoping to get a television reality show to watch its demolition. No, I'm
That'd
kidding.
be awesome. Yeah, and the hotel.
And the hotel, and the remodel, and the
That'd
renovation.
Be awesome. And but when we look at that property, we're not changing it. We're changing what it is today to bring back what it was yesterday, and that's the important thing to understand. And
we only have about 30 seconds left, but are there other shows like this in the works?
Not that one. There is a reality show that is a family-friendly outdoor water sports competition show, and I don't know that we'll get it because of the incentive problem statewide, but it's a wonderful show. It's considered reality. If we could get it, it would be a wonderful boon to the community.
All right, let's take a...
We're trying.
Siesta Beach Resort and Spa.
There you go.
Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll have final thoughts from our guests. Plus, what some of our viewers are saying about Friday's topic, President Trump's first foreign trip.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004.
Grandma, can you come out and play?
Sure, Ellie. Oh my, you might want to come here and help Grandma.
What's the matter, Grandma? Can't you stand?
Oh, sorry, honey. It's my knees. They don't work the way they used to.
Does this ever happen to you? Are you on Medicare? You may qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Call the Health Hotline to see if you qualify. Our friendly agents are standing by 24/7 to help you. We also have braces for your shoulder, ankle, or back pain. And if you're covered by Medicare, you may qualify for free delivery.
Grandma, slow down. I can't keep up.
Maybe you can use a knee brace too, Ellie. Catch me if you can, kiddo.
Call now to get your pain-relieving knee brace.
Operators are standing by. Call 855-828-0086. That's 855-828-0086. Again, 855-828-0086. That's 855-828-0086.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Well, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, but will featuring Siesta Key in a reality show about elite college students draw the right kind of attention to the Suncoast? Our guests join us right now for final thoughts. Jeannie, what kind of pushback have you gotten? Have you gotten complaints?
Almost none. I had one email and I had 2 phone calls, and both of the phone calls were rational, reasonable people. And
saying what?
You know, basically saying, well, how could you allow MTV to be on Siesta Key? And I said, we're not allowed to discriminate against anyone. If they're meeting the laws and the rules and the regulations, they're filing permits, they have insurance, they have permission of private property owners. This is America, and you know, this is freedom of expression, freedom of the media and so forth. And anything, we're fortunate enough in this country, anything we don't want to watch, we don't watch. We just turn it off. But I will say, I would like all generations to keep an open mind and an open hand of welcome to one another.
Mike, what have business owners been saying to you?
You know, we're all sensitive to the concerns. I mean, we want to protect Siesta Key. It's our baby, you know, so their concerns are my concerns as well, you know, but if they can do it tastefully and comes out great, that'd be awesome, because, you know, I have 24 employees that are local Sarasota residents, you know, and we all live together, and we all just have to be responsible for our own actions and do what's best for the community first.
Right. Well.
And let's remember, it's television, it's entertainment, it's not really reality.
Well, this show is reality.
Ours is, that's true.
Okay. And we're about to find out in about a month in terms of how Siesta Key will be portrayed on MTV. Thank you both.
And we'll hope for the very best.
Okay, thank you both for joining us. Before we go, we want to share with you what some of our viewers are saying about Friday's topic, President Trump's first foreign trip. Over the course of 8 days, the president met with leaders in Saudi Arabia, urging the Arab world to do more in the fight against extremism. He also met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the wake of reports that he shared some of Israel's classified intelligence with the Russians. He also had an audience with the Pope, went to the NATO summit where he lectured our allies on paying their fair share, and then ended the week at the G7 summit in Italy. We asked you what you thought about how President Trump is representing the U.S. abroad. Ann Wade writes, shameful. Ray Markham writes, he's awesome. James Van Zant writes, President Trump protecting the USA and her citizens, finally a president who understands the responsibilities of the office. And Shannon Zelinsky writes, he is alienating every country that has had our back since World War II. He's destroying the country from every direction. Well, what do you think about MTV's upcoming reality show, Siesta Key? Join the conversation by visiting our Facebook page at facebook.com/news@7. And FYI, you can watch past roundtable discussions on demand. They're available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Thanks to both our guests for being here tonight. Jeannie Corcoran is the director of the Sarasota County Film Commission, and Mike Holderness Jr. is the CEO of Sarah Bay Real Estate. He also owns the Siesta Key Beachside Villas and Beachside Management. When we return, we'll have a final look at your weather. Plus, plenty of Florida residents are using the day off to do some grilling or to take a dip in the pool, including some local wildlife. Find out what happened after this alligator wound up in a Venice family's pool. The details in our primetime headlines.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
I
witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Your primetime headlines are coming up in a moment, but right now let's get a final check on our forecast from meteorologist Steve Newman. Steve.
Alan, it's been mostly sunny across most of the Suncoast, but if you look inland, you can see some bubbling clouds. In fact, radar indicated a couple of showers that I don't think the rain was reaching the ground from about an hour or so ago. And it's a sign that our weather patterns are slowly changing, and I think you're going to like the result of these changes later on this week. High temperatures across the state, pretty much in the 90s. Jacksonville unusually hot with 98 this afternoon, and along the coast because of the onshore breeze, mainly in the upper 80s. 90 at Mayaca City, but mid and upper 80s in far inland areas of our viewing area. Another sign that things are changing, look at these clusters of storms, or this big cluster of storms coming from the Everglades across Alligator Alley and now moving into the interior part of the state. But what's going on here? Look at this. What is this line coming up suddenly developing? Well, let's pull back, and I think I know what's going on here. For the first time in about a week, we've got a sea breeze front coming in, and it's lifting the atmosphere. And as it gets close to the middle, that's what is causing this line. That's a sign that our sea breeze engine, which we normally get in the summer months and gives us afternoon cooling and showers and thunderstorms, is slowly kicking in. And it's happening because this high pressure that's dominated our weather with dry and hot weather for almost a week is showing signs of weakening. And in the next couple of days, the axis of it will change. It will weaken, move out of the Atlantic, allowing these thunderstorms. And look at the strong southern fetch of moisture coming in from the tropics. It's just going to juice everything up in the atmosphere, giving us an increasing chance of thunderstorms for the rest of the week. Now, this is Wednesday. Let's look at our long-range futurecast. It's not as high resolution as the 48-hour one, but it'll give you an idea that again on Thursday afternoon, boom, more thunderstorms, and then on Friday afternoon, more, and Saturday too, even more. Sunday gets more scattered. It just gives you an idea that we are, for the next couple of days, going to undergo a significant pattern change in the weather. And that will bring an increased chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening as the week goes on. And while the thermometer may not show it actually cooler, I think it will seem cooler as the week goes on because of the increased breezes with these storms and also the clouds that will be blocking that bright sun that's just been broiling us for the last few days. Partly cloudy and warm tonight. Our low temperature is 73. Our average for this time of year is 70, and winds are northwesterly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Our 7-day outlook, this is a great forecast. I've been wanting to give this for a long time. Look at the juiciness increase to an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms as we move into Friday, 70% on Saturday, and gets a little less over the weekend. But you get the idea. We're in for some wet weather. Alan will be back with some primetime headlines right after these words.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom.
Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today, A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Now for your primetime headlines. Like Americans across the nation, President Trump is honoring the fallen this Memorial Day. It is a welcome respite from the controversy surrounding his close advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who faces accusations of attempting to set up a back-channel communications with the Russians. ABC's Megan Hughes has the latest.
Present! President Trump laying a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery, the final resting place for many who died in service to the country.
We can never replace them. We can never repay them. But we can always remember. And today, that is what we are doing. We remember.
A presidential moment as his administration continues to play defense. The investigation into Russia intensifying. The spotlight now on Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
Kushner is a unique situation because unlike anybody else who's just staff who you ultimately can fire, he is married to Ivanka Trump, a big asset to this administration.
Kushner is not a target of the investigation, but the administration is responding to allegations he tried to set up a secret communications channel with Russia. This after intelligence agencies concluded Russia tried to meddle in the U.S. election.
It's both normal, in my opinion, and acceptable. Any way that you can communicate with people, particularly organizations that are maybe not particularly friendly to us, is a good thing.
Republican Senator John McCain isn't buying it. Today, in an interview on Australian TV.
I know that some administration officials are saying, well, that's standard procedure. I don't think it's standard procedure prior to the inauguration of a president of the United States by someone who is not in an appointed position.
The ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee says Kushner's security clearance should be questioned.
There ought to be a review of his security clearance to find out whether he was truthful, whether he was candid.
President Trump himself defended Kushner in a statement to the New York Times, saying that he has total confidence in him and that he's doing a great job for the country. Megan Hughes, ABC News, Washington.
Now to the growing concern about North Korea. Tonight, Japan is vowing to take action against North Korea after Pyongyang's missile test on Sunday ended in the Sea of Japan. The Japanese Prime Minister spoke about the situation in a brief televised address today, saying he plans to work with the United States to take specific action to deter North Korea. This is the third missile test North Korea has conducted in the past month. Russia and China also condemned Sunday's missile test and called for restraint. And the U.S. military announced last Friday it will be conducting a first-of-its-kind missile intercept test this week. The South tonight after a weekend of tornadoes in the heartland. Authorities in Memphis say it could take more than a week to fully restore power after storms left about 200,000 customers in the dark. Heavy winds knocked down trees and power lines. In Missouri, at least 2 deaths are blamed on flash flooding, and rain could delay travel in the Northeast for millions of traveling home from after the long holiday weekend. A problem affecting our country's veterans does not appear to be going away. Federal authorities are launching dozens of new criminal investigations into possible opioid and other drug thefts by employees at the VA and hospitals. New data shows the VA Inspector General's office opened 36 cases from October 1st to May 19th. That brings the total number of criminal investigations to 108. The VA has pledged zero tolerance and says it will continue working hard to reduce drug thefts. Golf legend Tiger Woods is drawing more unwanted headlines after an arrest for DUI this morning near his home in Jupiter, Florida. Woods was booked just after 7 a.m. It is unknown if he was under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or both. This is just the latest blow for Woods, who is battling multiple injuries and went through a high-profile divorce after admitted he cheated on his wife. Just 2 months ago, he said he was hoping to play in the Masters. Now the chances of him returning to the tee seem even more out of reach.
He's not going to be coming back, unfortunately, barring an absolute miracle. But I think it could be really fascinating watching him try to become Tiger Woods again. I just don't see it happening on a major level.
The last time Woods won a major tournament was the U.S. Open in 2008. More details on his arrest are expected to be released tomorrow. Federal officials are looking into how a SpaceX rocket sparked a wildfire at the Kennedy Space Center. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service says it was caused by a static fire test of a Falcon 9 rocket. It only spread to 2 acres and didn't threaten any buildings. SpaceX says it was testing the rocket for a mission to the International Space Station set to launch next week. Award-winning sports writer Frank DeFord has died. His family says he passed away yesterday in Key West. DeFord was a 6-time Sports Writer of the Year and is in the Sports Writers Hall of Fame. He was best known for his work at Sports Illustrated and on NPR's Morning Edition. DeFord was the first sports writer awarded the National Humanities Award. President Barack Obama honored him for transforming how we think about sports. And finally tonight, a Venice family got a surprise this morning when they found an unexpected intruder in their pool. Deputy Lori Clark was the first to respond to a house call in the Plantation neighborhood this morning. She took this video. As you can see, there was a healthy 7 to 8 foot long alligator at the bottom of the pool. He was thrashing and swimming around. Fortunately, the family took a second look before jumping in on this War Memorial Day. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission responded and called a trapper who relocated the gator to a more appropriate swimming hole, maybe in Gainesville. Someone forget to open or close the screen door. That's all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohn. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.